Hi, I'm Matt Ricker reporting here at Iona College. I'm Matt Ricker and I'm ecstatic to be hosting alongside my good friend Alex Visano.
Like many other seniors at Iona College, we all have our obstacles, but Matt faces a different kind of challenge.
It started when I was around 2.5 years old. I was diagnosed with bacterial meningitis, which is a disease that affects both the brain and spinal cord. In my case, it was my hearing. So I am deaf in both ears. I have what's called a profound bilateral hearing loss, which simply means that I'm deaf in both ears due to an illness. I grew up in New Rochelle, went to New Rochelle schools, public schools, and I'm very fortunate on how far I have come. Some of the challenges for me were sometimes it was just fitting in, especially when it came to group work. I kind of felt left out. At some points, I always had friends who were very understanding of my needs and what I have. I've always been fascinated with the news gathering process and all aspects of TV production, whether it was on air, behind the scenes. It was always something that I wanted to learn more about and to get better at. Ever since I was a younger kid, I would always watch the news with my parents, and I'd always be saying wow, how do they do that? How do they talk so fast, and how do they talk so perfectly? So I just was always inspired on the work that journalists and reporters have done.
Matt has been recognized as a key player in the mass communications department, managing advertisements for the college newspaper and hosting his own radio show on WICR.
I've had an implant ever since I was 2.5 after I was cured and recovered from the meningitis. Sometimes, it took a little while before, teachers and as well as my fellow classmates would understand on, what disability that I have and how they could best accommodate me.
My first impression of Matt was that he was just super excited and committed, and really passionate about just doing the things that he needed to do. Matt is the rule, not the exception.
I will never forget, there was this time when I was at day camp in one summer, and my friend said, "We're playing Marco Polo, so come on, let's play." And I was like, "Oh yeah, sure," like any other kid. I said I agreed to it, and I asked, "How do you play that?" And he told me, and I was a little disappointed because you need to be hearing in order to play that. So that's one of the times where I kind of feel like I was left out. I'd be just minding my own business, looking at stuff at a store, whatever, and somebody will walk up to me and say, "Oh, what's that new Bluetooth you got on your ear?" And it's just hysterical. But of course, I don't laugh. I kindly tell them what it is and what it does, and so I've gotten that many times.
Matt hopes to help others with their challenges and obstacles. He says if he sets his mind to it, he can achieve anything.